Hi everyone, welcome back to Queen G's Recipes, and today we are making an eggnog tres leches cake, perfect for Christmas, the holidays, New Year's. It is amazing, it is delicious. Let me show you how to make it. First, we need a nice big bowl that is nice and clean, and then we are going to add in our egg whites, which are at room temperature. If you have some cream of tartar, you can add in about half of a teaspoon, but I don't have any right now, so I'm just going to use a small amount of lemon juice. And this will help stabilize our meringues. Now we whip until firm peaks. This is what your meringue should look like. It'll form some peaks. Perfect. Now we set this aside. Now into a separate bowl, we are going to add in our egg yolks, our sugar, 1, 2, 3. Our vanilla extract, I'm using my homemade. I will leave the link in the description box if you want to make yours as well, which you really should. Add a nice splash. And now I'm not even going to wash my beaters here. I'm going to mix this until well combined. You just want to scrape down the bottom and sides of your bowl. Make sure everything is being well mixed. When mixing your egg yolks and your sugar, you want to make sure that you whisk for a few minutes to make sure everything is nice and smooth. Now we add in our melted butter and the star of our show, eggnog. Yum! Now we mix until combined. Now we add in our nutmeg and cinnamon. Very important here. And now we sift in our dry ingredients. So in here we have flour, salt, and baking powder. Once you add in your dry ingredients, you don't want to overmix, just until combined. This looks great. Now we're going to fold in our egg whites. I'm going to do half at a time. Now we add in our remaining egg whites, and at this time you also want to make sure you preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so now you're going to need a 9 by 13 inch baking dish that has been well greased with some nonstick spray or some softened butter. Now we place our cake batter in here and spread it as evenly as possible. Now we're going to place this into our preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are going to bake for 30 to 35 minutes, or when a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. Let's get to baking. My cake baked for exactly 38 minutes. Now I'm going to let it sit at room temperature for 10 minutes, and then we will work on the next step. Now into a pitcher or a very large mason jar, you want to add in all your liquids. This is what we're going to need to place on top of our cake. And we are going to first add in some milk. Then we're going to add in 1 can of evaporated milk. And lastly, 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. Now we give everything a good stir. This looks good, and now we have all trays of our leches. Now we set this aside for just a second. Now with the help of a fork, I'm using a ginormous fork that I have here, but just a regular fork will do. You just want to prick holes all over your cake. It's already been 10 minutes, so this cake is ready. I'm going to give my 3 milks here a good stir once again. And now we are going to carefully pour this all over our cake. And now our 3 milks are going to steep into those holes and into our cake, and it's going to be fabulous. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap and place it in the fridge for a minimum of 2 hours. And then I'll meet you right back here when we are ready to top it and add some deliciousness to it and complete our cake. After placing my cake in the fridge, I checked it after 2 hours and it was still kind of warm. So I just ended up leaving it in the fridge overnight. And now I'm going to unwrap it. It smells amazing. I'm just going to set it aside for a second. Now into a bowl, we are going to place some heavy cream, some powdered sugar, and a small splash of vanilla extract. You can use a handheld mixer here, or you can just use a whisk. And we are going to whisk until medium to firm peaks. This looks perfect. We're going to bring back our cake. Now we take our fresh whipped cream and we spread it nice and even over our cake. This looks perfect. Now we are going to sprinkle a generous amount of cinnamon on the top. Now we place this in the fridge for 30 minutes to allow our whipped topping to set up nicely. My cake was in the fridge for 30 minutes. Now we are ready to slice it and try it. Make sure you clean your knife in between so that you have nice, clean slices. Let's try it. This is over the top delicious. You need to make it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.